It was fantastic. I enjoyed it, and the fact that the audience were very much in tune with what I was talking about as well, and it was a good thing that they sort of laugh at some of my jokes.
They laughed at your jokes?
Yeah, some of them were a bit lame, but then again. Yeah, I think it's been fantastic. The crew has been fantastic, and even the audience were very happy with the arrangement, the organization, and the fact that most of the audiences have sort of like seen videos on TEDx and TED Talk before, and they were very excited that we've got it now at Coventry University. So I think it has to be something that should be done yearly. So so. Absolutely, and the fact that TEDx will allow you to talk about ideas which are a bit out there, and trying to see if the audience will understand what you're trying to say, and whether they would be able to have any takeaways that would help them in what they do in their day-to-day life as well, which is useful. What I spoke about was the power of play and the science of games, and the fact that our digital and physical experiences are merging. So we need to understand how to use the power of games, which we call gamification, which refers to the use of game techniques in non-game contexts, and how we can actually use this technique in redefining or reconstructing our own learning to understand that even though education is a bit linear, it's like from point A to point B, but if we create our own narrative around this education, we can make it non-linear. There are all sorts of different opportunities that will be able to enrich and enhance your learning. And if you understand how gaming works, you will understand the different mechanics. For example, you can create your own missions and quests as part of your education, so that you would know how to level up in your skills. So you would know what skills that you need to obtain in order for you to level up in your own gamified narrative. So I think that's quite useful, because I'm not only preaching about it, I'm practicing it myself as well. That sort of helped me to make what I'm doing fun, because sometimes working and learning can be a bit, a bit tedious. So by injecting a bit of fun in the experience, I think not only that it will enrich the experience, but it would help us to gain more skills, and as well as identifying different opportunities. It was possibly about more than 10 years ago, when I'm so impressed, because I'm not an avid gamer, as in someone who can play games in the bedroom for hours and hours and hours on ends and don't even sleep or eat. I'm sort of very intrigued that how can someone can get so addicted to games? Can we actually use the same techniques in helping someone to understand that you can use the same sort of technique in any different task out there, and turn it into something more extraordinary that you enjoy, that you would prefer to spend a lot of time on? So my PhD was very much on visualization, trying to understand the visual. How can you attract someone's attention and the way you learn as well. And I was also based at the Serious Games Institute at Coventry University before. That was possibly 5 years ago. And I sort of like went deeper into the concept of games and gaming, and trying to understand gamers and how they actually use digital games in their day-to-day life. And my interest is in how do you translate the confidence and the skills that you have within a game scenario into the real world. So this is when I sort of part of the team that set up the Disruptive Media Learning Lab. And absolutely, so we are very much interested in looking at gamification, which is trying to deconstruct gameplay and see what would make you tick. Can we create something which would be plug and play, and you can say that, oh, in my own learning, I would like to use this technique, this technique, this technique to motivate me. That would allow me to understand where my modules and where my course is actually going to, how is it going to be relevant. So different people have different types of, we call it player types. There are different types of player types where you would be interested in all sorts of different things. And yeah, so the interest has gone back since more than 10 years ago in terms of games and gameplay. being at the disruptive media learning lab is fantastic. We are allowed to take risk. So we are actually working with students and staff as well to actually understand game design thinking. It's about solving problems in a creative way, solving problems in a non-linear way so that you can actually create possibly a game at the end of it. It could either be a board game, card game, role-playing, treasure hunt, all sorts of different things. But you would be able to understand the concept of game design. By understanding that, probably students can, what they can take away from this experience is, now that when they are looking at their assignment, when looking at their own modules and course, they will be able to, in a way, deconstruct the course and gamify it. So we are doing that at Coventry University, and the next session is going to be launched in the 8th of February, and it's called Game Changers. And I'm also actually working on a project with the EU Commission, and the EU Commission has given us about 5.9 million to spend for the next 3 years, and there are 15 partners across Europe. So we are looking at the use of gamified techniques in teaching and learning, because we want to change the way you teach in schools. We are looking at cross-subject teaching, and not only one subject not just one subject at one time, but you are teaching 3, 4, 5 different subjects at the same time. And how can we use gamification for that to help you to change the way you do things? Yeah.